Support WrestleTalk!
Thank you to the event known as Chris Anderson to decide the best in the world. Hello and welcome to the WrestleTalk News. I'm Pete Cornell. You know, Chopper from Screenstalker. Now I know, I'm new, I'm not Ollie or Luke or Laurie, but you've got me today because those three begin their epic WrestleMania weekend livestream schedule tonight, starting with NXT TakeOver New York. So while they're gearing up for that, and by that I mean sleeping, I'm filling in, so be gentle. Please. Make sure to subscribe to Screenstalker though for our own pre-show, as all three of them will be playing the card for each show for an hour before each show starts in WWE 2K19. With all that said, let's get started with the Super News. Wait, no, that's not right. Let's begin the Mecha News. Wait, no, I can't do that either. I can't do Luke or Ollie's gimmicks. I need one of my own. I need something that's big. Numbers are big. I could do numbers are big. Luke and Ollie do the longer news, which means I'm the third one doing the longer news, which means I've got a 33 and a third chance of winning at Sacrifice. But then you take into account Ollie's 75% chance of winning if we went one-on-one, and that gives him 141 and 2/3 chance of winning at Sacrifice. We'll only have an 8 1/3 chance of coming up with a suitable name for my longer news episodes. I don't have a name yet. But let's get on with the news. Today is stacked because we've got stories from across the spectrum, such as a WrestleMania 35 result potentially leaked, the tensions between AEW's Chris Jericho and WWE continuing to rise, and of course we've got all the happenings from last night's Impact show, United We Stand. Click the timestamps in the video description below to jump to any of those stories right now. To show solidarity in Luke, Ollie and Laurie's absence, let's give them a nice welcome back gift tonight with a whole bunch of thumbs up, subscribers, and a metric butt ton. That is an actual unit of measurement, I promise. I want to see a metric butt ton of comments answering today's question of the day, which is, if Seth Rollins doesn't beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 35, who do you think should? This past week, some WWE stars appeared on Jimmy Fallon in order to promote WrestleMania 35. The ones in attendance took part in a funny little game where they had to cut promos written by young children and attempt to make them sound tough. So you had Braun Strowman cutting a knock-knock joke, Drew McIntyre talking about pooping, and Carmella threatening to wax someone New York style, whatever that means. However, it's the last of those three that drew some ire from another WWE star. Carmella posted a picture of herself on Jimmy Fallon on Instagram, but her attire drew the gaze of one Shinsuke Nakamura, who responded with 3 simple words: "It's my gear." Well, he's not wrong. From an unhappy WWE couple to a very happy one now, and it seems congratulations are in order as Long Island Ice Z just became Long Island Ice G. The G stands for groom. Last night, Zack Ryder got engaged to girlfriend Chelsea Green, with the pair announcing their engagement on Twitter. I think Zack missed out on an I wooed her joke here though. A lot of love poured in for the couple, with countless wrestling personalities past and present weighing in with their thoughts. Brandy Rhodes went one step further though, taking credit for the whole thing. "I put these two together and it worked. I'll be charging by the minute now for matchmakings. Crying with laughter emoji. Congrats you two, love you guys. Champagne clinking glass emoji. See, she's been taking lessons from Vince McMahon." A big congratulations though to the happy couple. Even more congratulations were in order as WWE have unveiled their latest Hall of Fame statue, and it's here to kick bubblegum and chew ass, and it's all out of ass. Wait. Roddy Piper was the latest to be immortalized in statue form, joining the likes of Andre the Giant, Bruno Sammartino, The Ultimate Warrior, Dusty Rhodes, and Ric Flair. Other WWE legends were on hand to give their thoughts of the unveiling, including Ricky Steamboat, Sting, and Jimmy Hart. The late Piper passed away in 2015, but now his astounding legacy, including but not limited to his classic WrestleMania 2 feud with Mr. T, being the host of a talk show that paved the way for all future ones, and wearing a rad kilt, has now been cemented. When you think you know the answers, he changes the questions. Last night saw Impact Wrestling's WrestleMania weekend show take place. United we stand. It was a pretty stacked card, including an Ultimate X match, a Monsters Ball match, an intergender match, the one night of the year where Impact Wrestling and Lucha Underground go head-to-head in direct competition, and the best of all matches, a nostalgia match. Results for the show are incoming imminently, so if you don't want to know as you haven't watched yet, skip ahead using the timestamps in the description below. We're going to talk about the results in 3, 2, 1. It seemed to be a very good show, with Sami Callihan overcoming Jimmy Havoc while stapling a newspaper to his head, but not the WrestleTalk magazine this time. Damn you, Callihan! Tessa Blanchard beating Joey Ryan, Johnny Impact becoming the new #1 contender to the X Division Championship, Rich Swann retaining that X Division Championship over Flamita, Team Lucha Underground beating Team Impact, Taya Valkyrie retaining the Knockouts Championship, LAX defeating Low-Key and Ricky Martinez, and the Lucha Bros knocking off the ECW Dream Team of RVD and Sabu. I'm honestly surprised we didn't see Chris Jericho appear on the show, with all the tension between him and WWE seemingly rising and rising. Current AEW and former WWE star Chris Jericho hosts a popular podcast called Talk is Jericho, though it is listed second of the banging pods to listen to before WrestleMania after WrestleTalk's Wrestle Ramble, thank you very much. Talk is Jericho regularly features current and former WWE stars to share their experiences and shoot the breeze or something. Now, however, things may have changed. Jericho recently did an episode of his podcast previewing WrestleMania 35. However, he revealed on the show that he was now forbidden from having WWE stars appear on the podcast. I don't think I am necessarily banned from the WWE, I don't think that's the case at all, but I know I'm not allowed to have any WWE guests on Talk is Jericho. Yeah, that was told to me from a very high source that it would not be appropriate because I'm now with AEW. While Jericho often plays host to friends and other non-WWE wrestlers, there's no doubt it's a bit of a blow to him and the podcast to not be able to showcase and talk to his friends and former colleagues in the same way. Jericho has really been messed around by WWE, removing him from the WWE intro clip, denying NXT stars on his cruise, banning WWE stars from his podcast, and even while he was with the company, taking him in and out of matches such as the Greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. Speaking of Saudi Arabia, WWE performed 2 shows in Saudi Arabia last year, the Greatest Royal Rumble from the beautiful progressive city of Jeddah, and Crown Jewel, which emanated from nowhere, just a totally normal place, why do you ask? The partnership between WWE and Saudi Arabia at the time was reportedly very strong, with a multi-year deal confirmed. It was also revealed during financial reports that WWE made somewhere in the region of $35 to $40 million for the Greatest Royal Rumble. In comparison, WrestleMania 34, that took place 2.5 weeks prior, generated around $14 million, well under half of the Saudi show. Now though, it seems there may be some readjustments in play for the 2019 schedule of events in the Middle East. It had been previously reported by Roger.com that an unnamed show would take place in Saudi Arabia on May the 3rd, which would place it 2 weeks before Money in the Bank on May 19th, don't tell Kane, but interestingly enough would also put it directly before WWE's European tour, which runs from May 8th to May 18th. Now though, reports from Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer are showing that the Saudi show has been moved from May 3rd to June 7th. The reason being given for this supposed change was for logistical purposes, so whether that means they wanted Money in the Bank, one of their big 5, to have more breathing room, or they wanted to separate their European tour and Saudi Arabia trip a little bit further, remains to be seen. Reported plans for the Saudi Arabian card include similar matches to the previous 2 events last year, including nostalgic big names and big draws entering left, right and center, and Hiroki Sumi. 2 of the reported names for the show were The Undertaker and Brock Lesnar. However, the latter of those 2 big names may now be in doubt. Brock Lesnar is set to defend the Universal Championship this Sunday at WrestleMania. Where have I heard that before? This time though, he's defending against Royal Rumble winner Seth Rollins. According to betting sites, the odds of either man winning at the big show were actually fairly even. However, that may be about to change. It's being reported by ESPN's Ariel Helwani that the UFC want Brock Lesnar back in time for a fight in August against current UFC heavyweight champion Daniel Cormier. The report states, the UFC wants him back. As of right now, he wants to be back. They're giving him a heavyweight title fight if he comes back. Daniel Cormier, the heavyweight champion, wants to fight him. Right now, the plan is for Lesnar to fight in August, later on this summer, for that heavyweight championship. So it's not signed just yet, but that that currently is the plan. Lesnar and Cormier have a bit of history, as Lesnar showed up at UFC 226 to face off against Cormier, following the latter's victory over Stipe Miocic. Could this mean then that Brock Lesnar may drop the Universal title on Sunday at WrestleMania before heading off to begin his training for the UFC return? Where have I heard that before? The fact this report came out directly before WrestleMania is certainly interesting, and it does beg the question of whether it is indeed legitimate or it could be used as another negotiating strategy by Lesnar to extend his WWE contract. Where have I heard that before? After WrestleMania, one would assume that Lesnar's next big WWE appearance would be at the next Saudi Arabia show, but considering that show has now reportedly been moved to June from May, there doesn't seem to be enough time for him to stay with WWE until then migrate over to UFC for his fight. Which means he may very well be leaving WWE after this Sunday, I think. I can't tell whether I'm being worked, or I'm working myself, or the whole thing is a shoot, or a work shoot, or it's worked itself into a shoot. I just don't know anymore. We'll see what happens on Sunday, I guess. Make sure to subscribe to Screen Stalker and enable notifications so you know when Ollie, Luke, and Laurie begin their WrestleMania weekend pre-shows streaming WWE 2K19, which starts tonight. Check back here on WrestleTalk for live reactions during NXT TakeOver New York tonight from them as well. A massive thank you to our patrons on Patreon, who you can see below me. Make sure to check out the videos over on the right from WrestleTalk and Screen Stalker. Subscribe, click the thumbs up and the bell icon, and leave us a comment. I've been Pete Quinnell, and that was wrestling.